Yeah.
I drop my sword to the ground and I make my way over to him. I rest my cheek on his chest and wrap my arms around him. I love you.
My big fluffy doggy.
The room is filled with bright but gentle light. It almost feels like I am bathing in sunlight. For a few moments I forget my worries. Everything feels blissful and quiet and my heart feels full. Then, moments later, I feel warm arms around my waist.
I love you too. Damn it. You always default to the German one to start doing it. Though I love you too, Henry Punk.
Oh? Oh?
I am no longer dog. Also, not naked.
Can't have everything, I suppose. When I open my eyes, I can't see anything.
You can't see everything because he's clothed.
Yeah, even though I know that the light has faded. That warmth is still there too, but now I feel it immediately on my skin, and I realise that is because Claude is hugging me. Not as a beast, but as a man. Did I break his curse? I realise this is the first time Claude has ever touched me for a long period of time without abruptly moving away. Tentatively I move my hands, feeling the fabric of his shirt and the warmth of him underneath it. Claude? But before I can finish my sentence, my lips are sealed. I feel Claude's lips on mine, only briefly, but it's enough to make me suddenly feel faint. He pulls away from me with a brilliant smile.
I've always wanted to do that.
Me?
Henry Punk, you're blushing. If I could, I would kiss you again, but we have some urgent things to attend to.
The reality of this situation begins to seep back into me. My father, Varg, Alcaster, they're all still in the throne room. The king.
Let's go, Henry Punk. Fortuitously turning into a giant werebeast now means all the knights are dead.
When Claude and I rush into the throne room, my attention is immediately grabbed by the king calling my name.
Henry Punk!
He's still bound to the throne, though his gag is removed. A rush of relief floods through me. He is alive. He is alive and he remembers me.
I imagine the gag came out from just the force of him shouting through it.
Especially if you have that voice.
Unbind me!
My gaze is drawn to the two men battling at the base of the throne. Their swords are locked together in a stalemate.
Huzzah!
Alcaster and Fritz. See? It is Fritz. Look at that hair.
Oh, he's got the yellow eyes of obviously a witch as well.
Yes.
And the slightly phallically placed sword as well. I forgot about that.
So had I. Fritz. What has happened here?
This is not how you gain power. I mean, actually, the military coup, this is literally how you gain power. You know, I knew you would be a thorn in my side from the moment I concocted this plan. Where is Varg, the person you're saying, who's the same build and height as you?
With the same eye colour, but a bad dye job.
The only one here is me, and I will...
Fritz's concentration slips as his eyes land on me. The opening is small, but it is enough to give Alcaster the opportunity he needs.
Stabby, stabby.
Watch out! Claude is already running over to help, but even he is too slow. Alcaster disarms Fritz before driving his sword through his son's chest.
He's got a very strong arm. Oh, blood feathers.
Blood feathers. No.
No, this person was named and not an NPC, therefore their death mattered.
Yes, well, technically he does have a story later on.
That's why we had the extra scene and everything with the blood splatter.
Yep.
No one else matters because we can't bone them at some point.
Alcaster pulls the sword out of Fritz's chest just fast enough to deflect Claude's attack.
Christ, he is strong then. You don't just stab him literally through the chest. Not in the chest, through the chest.
Then gets it out.
Then pulls it out, regardless of the, the suction effect, that sort of thing. And then manages to parry. That's a strong person, particularly since he probably would have had to brace his foot on the body to pull the sword out. So he did that on one leg. So
yep. As Claude
fast as well.
Yeah, Claude drives Alcaster away from the throne. I rush to where Fritz has collapsed onto the ground.
Unless he pulled it out of the body by swinging it over his head with the body still attached, so it flung across the room.
That'd be hilarious and cool. His eyes are already glowing glassy. Fritz, I lean over him. There's so much blood.
I wish more of it was inside me.
I glare at Alcaster. How could you do this to your own son?
He was a dickhead. Anyone in my world will meet my sword. Blood does not matter. Princess.
I turned back to Fritz in alarm, tears in my eyes. Fritz, hold on.
The way you phrased that. Hold on.
Don't speak. You need to conserve your energy.
I'm bothered about conserving my blood. And my lungs. Princess, I'm sorry.
Fritz, please don't speak.
Keep splatting blood on my face. It's horrible.
I feel bitter tears stinging my eyes. My lovely dress is now ruined.
I'm sorry.
I watch as the life seeps from Fritz's eyes. I put my hand to his chest to feel for a heartbeat, but Fritz's body is still.
Tell my family that I died.
Fritz. I glance up at the sound to see Claude at the far side. What?
What? Glance up at the sound to see Claude at the far side. Yeah, they have done it wrong.
Yeah, side of the room, struggling to get to his feet.
Oh, I was just thinking of some other really good last words. It's kind of one from it was a bloody D&D podcast that I listened to ages ago. And a wizard character, he thought he was dying, basically. He was bleeding to death in the middle of a fight. He said, "Tell them I was awesome." Henry Pong, watch out!
I turn, but I am not fast enough. I see Alcaster's sword raised high in the air and know it will reach me before I can pick up my own sword.
Dash forward and punch him in the balls. Or hope a witch turns up and casts spells.
Yes, that too. The sword falls from Alcaster's hand as a bright red ribbon of light twines around the hilt and drags it from his reach. I turn and see Delora standing a short distance away, Urian, Garland and Waltz all standing behind her.
I'm afraid your performance as king has been incredibly disappointing.
Urian and Garland move together, rushing to Alcaster from the same side. I see Claude moving in from the other side, quiet and lethal.
Princess.
Waltz and Delora rush over to me as the fighting continues. Alcaster has reclaimed his sword and is trying to evade attacks from 3 different swords at once. The king! Waltz nods at me, his gaze lingering on Fritz as his expression becomes solemn. He walks off to the throne while Delora kneels beside me. Delora? Delora shakes her head, and that is all I need to know that there is nothing more to be done.
If only we had brought the fairy with us with all the healing magic. We will make sure he was properly honoured, but for now we need to get you out of here.
But what about Ophelia?
Meow! Apparently. Waiting for us somewhere safe. I constructed a shield around her that will keep her hidden from view and harm until we return for her.
Aren't we meant to bring the royal family back to the Martian first?
Not when we're missing the king. Besides, plans change when a magical beast starts rampaging in the castle. Princess.
I turn to look at Alcaster, who is still somehow managing to scream my name, despite the fact that he is being quickly overwhelmed. Although he didn't really scream my name, he screamed my title.
Yeah. Princess, we could have worked together, apart from the fact I did at no point offer this to you. If you were more like your mother, you could have ruled with grace, beauty, and fear.
I flinch back, and Delora's hands come to rest on my forearms, her grip steadying.
That is enough!
I look up and see the king has stopped to stand beside me. To my surprise, the king rests a gentle hand on my shoulder, his eyes soft as he looks at me.
Henry Punk, we have a lot to talk about, but right now I have something I must do.
I nod mutely and watch as the king draws his sword.
Wait, why has he got a sword?
I don't know.
It's one of the first things you do when you capture someone is take the weaponry away from them. I mean, I would have thought that was fairly obvious.
He makes his way to Alcaster. Urian, Garland and Claude step back from where they have forced Alcaster to one knee.
You're a traitor lacking any honour, Alcaster. You were the one that lacked honour. A ruler must have the people... But what? Oh, no, it's him. Shit. I thought it went Alcaster, then I thought, no, it can't be. Also, he just said you lacked honour for not bullying people.
Yes.
Has anyone ever in real life ever claimed that? Because that's not how honour works. Also, honour's more about personal standing and standing of your family than it is actually about anything else, I guess. But anyway, I guess that might be
Details.
the point he was coming from. But
A ruler must lead people, not suffocate them. His oath as king is to protect them. You are no King Alcaster.
you haven't been crowned. You know,
For your crimes, I find you guilty and incapable of rehabilitation. The sentence for the severity of your crimes is death.
The king raises his sword, and I turn away before he strikes down his sword. There's no sound or a scream to follow. I turn once more to see that the king has pointed the sword at Alcaster's chest, but has not killed him.
You will stay into the prisons until time for your trial comes. Though you might try to refute these claims, you will be tried as a traitor to this kingdom. And then will be executed.
this is obviously a fair trial because they haven't decided the outcome before the end.
No. Does help that he's guilty as fuck, though.
Oh yeah,
Alcaster's shoulders fall. The glare never leaves his face, not even when the guards seize him and drag him from the room. The king immediately sends Urian and Garland out to deal with any knights that are still part of the coup.
yeah, because handily the ones that were hanging around inside the room not doing anything, suddenly switched sides.
Delora and Claude help with moving Fritz's body, whilst Waltz tries his best to fill the king in the most basic points of our successful operation.
Well, just to make conversation or what?
I don't know.
We got in and we rescued people.
Everything has died down a little over the past hour, but I feel overwhelmed. I glance at Waltz and the king, who are still speaking. Every time the king sees me looking at him, he flashes me an uncertain smile before glancing away. I know he wants to speak with me, but I will talk to him after I can get Fritz's body out of my mind. It was my fault he died, wasn't it? He saw me and stumbled.
Hey, princess.
Hey, listen!
Oh, hey!
What are you doing here?
Talking to you, bitch. Here, I'd thought you had changed, but you've still got some feistiness in you, don't you?
Ugh.
Many years ago, when the war ended, we were all faced with a feeling just like this, princess. We had lost so much, and the future seemed so grim. But now is different. You have a future.
Does she?
You broke your curse, princess. That gives you some kind of hope. And in addition, you broke karmas.
Memory of Claude's arms around me, his lips on mine, come flying back to my foggy mind. My heart still feels tight, but it is a little lighter when I think about him. I wish he was here right now. How did I break Claude's curse?
Claude. I don't think I'll ever get used to his real name. Seems like he hasn't told you yet. I guess it's been pretty hectic.
So Claude turned into a beast because he loved me.
Well, I guess I could give you the laydown of his curse. Sorry, it's just terminology.
Well,
Stop! Desist!
Delora has not even started to speak when Claude runs into the room, gasping as he's running through halls.
Curse? Are you speaking about my curse?
There is no way he heard us talking from in the hallway, is there?
Well, you're in a room specially designed for acoustics, so probably. Even I feel at a loss for words right now. I sensed you might be talking about me. Sparkle. The princess was just asking me about your curse. Oh, then I was right to come running, and here I was just guessing at what you might be talking about. Karma, Claude's curse, was based off the tale The Beauty and the Beast, obviously.
Claude easily finishes her sentence. Delora holds up her hands as if in surrender.
So eager to steal the spotlight. Well, you're talking about me after all.
You always told me that your curse was just the beauty's curse, though.
Well, yes, because the other half was a little difficult to explain, wasn't it? I turn into a big dog when I fall in love. There we go. Explained.
He has a point, though he might have been able to save us all some trouble if he hadn't been so secretive about his curse. He really must have been scared that I would shun him.
Shun. Shun!
Shun the unbeliever!
Shun! Allow me to explain, Princess. In the fairy tale, the Prince of a kingdom is transformed into a beast because his heart is as cold as ice. Sounds familiar to a certain icy princess, eh? No, I don't know, it doesn't sound that much like Frozen. Just trying to lighten the mood.
A Claude sighs.
I would call Henry Bonk something far more flattering, like my sweet beloved.
We were talking about your curse.
All right, well, anyway, the witch who cast the prince in the tale tells him he has to learn to love and be alive before the petals of a rose completely fall off.
A rose.
Yes, she gives him a rose, and he keeps it protected under glass. Some time passes, and the rose continues to wither away. A maiden finds the beast, and eventually the two fall in love. At the end of the tale, she confesses her love for the beast, and he transforms back into a human.
So by confessing I saved you. But his curse was different from the tale. Kitty! Being a butt.
I know what you're thinking, that my curse was somehow different.
It was more, complicated.
The witch made it so I was both the beauty and the beast. She said it suited me because I was so vain. The witch constructed a very roundabout curse. Any woman who falls for me falls in love with me as the beauty. And when I transformed into a beast, the enchantment would break, and they'd become terrified of me.
I doubt Claude ever thought he would break his curse. The love women felt for him while he's cursed was always fake. How could that kind of love hold strong when he turned into a beast if it was never true to begin with?
Then you came along, Princess. I bet he'd just about given up hope and was waiting for you to dispel the curse on your birthday. But now here you both are. But the Ice Princess, in love, what a miracle.
I turn away, embarrassed. It's not a miracle.
I'm very glad I met you, Henry Bonk.
But now I must go.
Woo! Out the window. Yeah. Lady Dolores' words are the truth. Just about given up hope. I never had any hopes of breaking my curse. I'd thought that the only way to fix it would be to have you dispel it on your birthday. But then I came to know you and, he fell in love. A fairy tale indeed. He started out frowning at everyone and everything. You've come a long way, Princess. Congratulations. You've turned out to be a pretty okay princess.
Wow. And you turned out to be a pretty fine witch.
Do my ears deceive me? A compliment from our little witch.
Yeah.
You look so surprised, but you'll be the new bearer of our crystal real soon, Princess. I expect good things from you.
Right, I almost forgot about that part. I'll, try my best.
Yet another miraculous proclamation from the little witch. Will the surprises never cease?
Before I can snap at Delora again, the king awkwardly interjects, coming to stand next to us with the waltz by his side.
Pardon the intrusion.
Oh, not at all, your majesty.
Nah,
Nah.
Waltz told me that you were cursed. That's why I forgot about you.
Yes.
Even if it wasn't by a curse, I feels terrible that such a thing could have ever happened. So I will make it up to you. We can catch up from where we were many, many years ago. And maybe things will be different.
I'm sorry.
What for?
For being the way I was before, for shunning Ophelia and her children, for being quite an impossible handful, for being basically a bitch. Oh. Ophelia, did they bring her back to the Martian?
No, Ophelia is still here. After the fight was over, she was shown back to her room. She is still waiting for Rod and Emelagne to return. Now you maybe be willing to tell me this story from the beginning.
Perhaps I could fill in the gaps, Your Majesty.
And Claude. The king looks startled when he stares at Claude. He blinks as if he had just noticed his presence.
Oh, and you are?
Claude elegantly bows before the king.
I am Prince Claude of Bruganta. A pleasure to finally meet you, Your Majesty.
The lost prince.
The king turns to me with a puzzled look. It's a long story. Claude surprises me by wrapping his arms around my shoulders and pulling me closer to him. Everyone looks shocked, except for Delora, who looks mostly like she's trying not to laugh.
As the princess's lover, I feel my obligation to help her explain this all. But yeah, that's not
That's
quite.
a bit of a
boyfriend. That's fine. Lover.
No.
That.
Especially not to her, dad.
As the deflower of your daughter.
I feel my face getting hotter at Claude's sudden proclamation. All their eyes are now on me, and I suddenly feel like hiding myself. Only Claude would so bluntly say such a thing. The king looks more shocked than anything.
Unsurprisingly. That's not a question you want to answer.
When did this happen? I expect details. Does he lean left or right?
Well, Your Majesty, I think we'd better start at the beginning.
We were able to tell the king everything, save for where Varg had disappeared to. No one was sure where he'd gone in all the chaos. The night's searches for him all ended in failure. What? She's just sort of like, I'm sitting here, and the world is not revolving around me. She's just sitting in the middle of the floor, just meowing at me. It's like, she's been fed. She can come up if she wants cuddles. She's not in any pain. She's just annoying. Aren't you, Puddin'? Yes, there you are.
Oh, a lovely little shitten.
A little shitten. A lot of explaining had to be done, not just to the king, but also to the people at the tavern. As soon as everything calmed down, Rod and Emma Lagny finally went back to the palace. I apologised to them as best I could, and they all seemed willing to try again with me. And I'm willing to try again too. As for Claude... So you're going back?
Are you sure you don't want to come to Brugantia with me just for a short holiday? I'd love nothing more than to introduce you to my family. Mother would shower you with gifts. Father would, well, tease you, probably. He makes jokes frequently, and llama.
What did you just say? Llama? He has a pet llama?
My brother, Llama.
What?
Another acronym, Wakama and Llama. Oh, God.
Yes, of course you are. Does your father do these things on purpose?
I told you, he likes jokes. My brother's real name is Lance. I was going to bring you back and introduce the two of you. And you could tell my little brother how very charming I am.
Is it just my imagination, or is there a glimmer of competition in his eyes? As much as I would like to meet your family...
Be too much drama?
Drama, Llama Karma.
You have your own obligations here.
And you need to let your family know that you are safe and alive.
But the thought of being separated from you...
Claude sighs before he leans down and plants a kiss on my forehead.
I'll miss you.
You won't be gone that long.
Love, that's not how you're supposed to respond. But it is a more accurate way that people respond.
Yes.
You're supposed to say, my sweet prince, I'll miss you too.
Fine then, I'll miss you, maybe. Claude raises an eyebrow at me and then smiles.
I'll be back for your birthday. I love you, Henry Punk.
It has only been a few weeks since Claude left, but I am impatient. The king has been throwing grand dinners every night in preparation for my birthday, but I can hardly concentrate on anyone else when I'm thinking of Claude. I told him about all the smaller birthday celebrations. I thought he would be here for them. My birthday is in a few days. When will he come back? I've tried to make myself busy, mainly by continuing my sword practicing with Urian and Garland, who have both rejoined the Order of Caldera.
There's only about 7 of them left.
Basically.
They
Every
all got
time...
murdered by werewolves.
Shockingly, every time I'm around the Knights, I think of Fritz. I shall bring some new flowers tomorrow. If Claude would just return already, we could go pay our respects together, because he totally knew Fritz.
Yep. Meow. Hello, Henry Punk, my love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed. When did that happen?
I'm guessing it didn't. Claude. I shake my head and try to gather my thoughts. First of all, you did not knock. Second, we are not engaged. Might as
yes,
well
I
be,
forgot to ask about that part.
I just assumed. It's.
I knew I forgot something.
I have a ring on me somewhere.
Okay, wait a minute, it's here somewhere. It may as well be, don't you think?
Okay, that's not the point. I mean, yes, but not the point.
Particularly with a royal couple.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing with that.
At the very least, knock before you come in.
Still worried I would come in on you in the middle of changing. Would you have minded so terribly?
Yes. Still royal.
It's worth saying those things to you just to see you blush.
Why are you even here? His arrival is so sudden and I had absolutely no time to prepare. Claude sighs dramatically.
You didn't want me back here.
No, I mean, you did not even write to say you'd be back today. I just wasn't expecting you.
I did say I'd be back for your birthday. I'm a man of my word. Should I have stayed out longer?
No, of course not. I grumble as Claude walks over to my bed, grinning. He sits down on the bed next to me and wraps an arm around my waist, pulling me closer. I sigh and lean my head on his shoulder. It's a startling contrast to what it used to be. Before, if I touched him, he would flinch and turn away from me. Now he's always right next to me. Claude's whole body seemed to relax when I tentatively wrapped my arms around him and hug him back.
I knew I would miss you, but it really was terrible being away from you.
But you enjoyed the time with your family.
I did. My brother was very frustrated that I spoke about you almost every hour of the day.
How could you have that much to say about me?
Oh, I felt that I didn't have enough time to list off all of your virtues.
I nudge him in the arm, but he just grins at me. A glint from Claude's pocket catches my eye and I flush proudly when I notice the rose locket. Looking at the locket makes me think back to the night when he transformed back into a prince.
Lost in thought, are we?
I was just noticing the locket. You still carry it around with you?
Of course I do. It's become my most valuable possession.
He pulls the little locket out and pops it open. I'm startled when I see a small sheet of paper with my own words on it.
Why are you startled? You put it in there.
My message to him is still there. Claude smiles as he reads the words aloud.
A normal rose would have withered, so I offer this one instead, in heartfelt thanks.
Okay, that... yeah. I say nothing when he turns to look at me.
Oh, your cheeks are red again. Your embarrassment is adorable, darling.
I am not embarrassed. I just didn't think he'd keep the words in there, or that they would ever mean so much to him.
Yes, of course. You have exceptionally rosy cheeks.
He pauses as he closes the locket again and looks at it fondly.
I love this locket because it is the first gift you gave me.
He was holding the locket at the breast too. Oh, as the beast too. No, that's not what I read. Fuck it. It was half the reason I recognised him. I jump as Claude generally taps my nose with his finger.
Oop. This locket isn't going anywhere anytime soon, I can assure you.
I smile as he winks at me.
Anyway, allow me to pull you back into the present.
Literally.
Since I promised you no more secrets, let me tell you something. Oh, God.
Zip.
Spong.
Oh? Claude looks away from me, his eyebrows furrowing, and for a frown. I hope it's nothing serious.
I'm nervous about sitting down to dinner with your father tonight.
What, you mean after you told him you were lovers?
Yeah.
Wonder why that would be.
Yeah.
Especially as a fucking king deflowering... Fucking hell. You're nervous. I start laughing without even meaning to.
You're laughing at my pain, princess.
He pulls me closer and kisses the top of my head. But you are too flamboyant to be nervous.
I'm confident, princess, not flamboyant. There's a difference. Yeah, there is a difference.
There is a difference.
You're flamboyant.
But you are also flamboyant.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah.
Claude's expression grows more solemn. He looks at me seriously, almost sadly.
Henry Bonk, I'm still sorry about lying to you. The whole time I made myself up to be someone beautiful, someone I wasn't. I believed I was truly a good person on the inside, and that I deserved good things, even though I was selfish.
He's already apologised to me before, too many times. Claude, you do not have to apologise.
No, that witch was right to curse me. I've always had everything handed to me on a silver platter. When I came to Envue, I believed that it wasn't going to help break my curse. It wasn't important. And then I met you. First, I thought I would just have to get on your good side so you would help me dispel my curse. But then, Henry Bonk, I realized I was drawn to your confidence and commitment. But I could never admit I was in love with you. I was so scared that if I transformed into a beast and you were scared of me, I'd lose my chance at winning your heart. Sorry, Skype brought up bloody buttons over the last two words. So you see, princess, I was selfish. I wanted all of you without having to give you all of me.
I looked down at where our hands are intertwined and I grip his fingers tighter. I've told you enough times now that you have nothing to apologise for. But if you insist on apologising, maybe you ought to do something to make it up to me. Oh, aye.
Oh, yeah.
Those words are out of my lips before I can even think them. I stop suddenly, trying to ignore the hot flush in my cheeks. Claude looks at me puzzled, and for a few moments I feel triumphant that I've caught him off guard. Then the puzzle look fade, and Claude just grins at me.
Oh, nice. So forward.
Forward? I open my mouth to apologise when he suddenly grabs my hands and tugs me down to the bed. The instinct taught me in my sword fighting are quickly overwhelmed by my surprise, and in no time he's pinned me down to the bed and is looming just above me, smiling.
Like that.
Like that.
I'm disappointed. Princess, you knew my weakness, and you didn't even exploit it there.
Your weakness.
Yes.
He leans closer to me and our noses almost touch, or
Oop.
do, as in case that picture.
My weakness is you, Henry Bonk.
Now get naked.
He leans down and our lips finally meet. I relax into the contact, my earlier tension melting away as warmth flows through me. He pulls away and smiles at me.
You see, I let my guard down in front of you.
I let my guard down in front of him too. And only him. This whole time I've wanted to do is be able to touch him like this. His fingers... oh, God. His fingers move gently up my arm and he leans down to kiss me again.
Like that.
Like that. And there was a knock on the door.
Oh, right. I thought she just surprised, like someone was poking her.
The sound of knocking startled us both. A muffled voice comes through the door. Princess! The king is requesting your princess down in the dining hall. He says that your friends have arrived. Ugh. Princess? I hear the doorknob begin to turn and quickly speak. Yes, I will be there in a minute. I'll let him know, princess.
First the curse and now this. It's as if the world is conspiring against us.
He kisses me once more on the forehead before slowly sitting up and running a hand through his hair. I catch the mischievous look in his eyes as I smooth down my own ruffled hair.
Don't worry, Henry Punk. We'll finish this later.
I feel my cheeks flush. You say such uncouth things. Claude chuckles before he stands up and offers his hand. I take it and smile up at him.
I love you, Henry Punk. And now I get to say it as many times as I like.
I love you too, Claude, I guess. I stand upon my toes to plant a quick kiss on his lips before heading to the door. Let's go, Claude.
And it's just whippets everywhere.
Whippets! Whip it good!
Whip it real good. Dun, 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 dun. I'm assuming there's music at this point.
There is not, because I've turned
Oh.
all the music down. Thank fuck.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh, baby, baby.
Ooh,
Baby,
baby.
So, yes. Quite enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
And since we don't have
Oh
anything
god,
else...
that picture looks rapey. Jesus Christ.
Well, it is a Renpy visual novel engine, so...
Crawling in my skin. These wounds, they will not heal. That's just a heart attack.
Yes.
Hello, I'm looking at... To be honest, that picture is just... I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Dog!
Dog, 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 dog.
Dog, 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 dog. Dog, dog?
Dog, dog, dog.
Dog. Snog.
Snog.
Snog, snog,
dog.
snog. Snog, snog, snog. Chameleon. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green.
Oh.
Some
Yeah.
people may have backed this.
I can see why. And it's free. Just saying, it's free, and there are like 4 other paths you can take as well that have their own separate storyline, apparently.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, considering we haven't got anything else, to replace this, we're gonna play we're gonna play 2 of the others. Sorry.
Ice sucky.
Icy Suki.
Dice sucky. Oh, dice sucky. Okay, okay. You put the D in ice.
That doesn't make it better.
A rose in full bloom. Is that a metaphor? Just.
Anyway.
Who's Red Riding Hood?
I'm guessing. Well, the Little Mermaid is.
Rod Hull. Rumpelstiltskin's Rumple. Rapey Rumple. I'm
guessing the star is Waltz, because that's the first star to the right and straight on till morning.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's Fritz.
Not fairy tale.
I know it's not a fairy tale, and you know it's not a fairy tale.
Yeah.
But...
Well, 2 of the things in there aren't in Brothers Grimm. And they're the ones they keep fucking quoting and going on about.
I know. Fuck it.
The shit mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, it's actually coloured it in with Karma's the back of... Well, sorry, Claude. The back of Claude's head.
Yeah, I'm assuming this one's going to look out this way.
Yeah.
And...
The other's just facing directly away from us and add nothing to the picture.
We can hope.
In the meantime, the magic croissant will guide us.
Magic croissant always guides us. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.